Okay, so day 5, we're concentrating on this teal formula. This is a new formula for you, and this is a big subject in algebra. This is called slope-intercept form, and it should be fairly obvious that it's called slope-intercept form because it has the slope of the line in it, and it also has an intercept in it. So I want to talk very briefly about what an intercept is. An intercept in this case is where a line crosses the y-axis. So remember, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. Just as an example, if I'm drawing my graph and it looks like this, everybody's eyes are watching me. This is the intercept. It's where it crosses the y-axis. And that's what we're referring to here. So anytime I draw a line, whether it be a horizontal line with a zero slope, this point right here is where it crosses the y-axis, which is the y-intercept. Y-intercept and where it crosses the y-axis mean the same thing. So no matter where that line is drawn, that point is called B. B is the y-intercept. So this is all new to you guys today. What I want you to know is to recognize this formula as slope-intercept form, and to know that the slope is m, we already know that from previous lessons, and b is our y-intercept. Notice that this x and the y are in every single example that I have up here. All of these examples, x and y, 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 x and y. We're going to get into that in our next unit, but just know that this x and y are going to be there to represent all our sets of numbers. I'll explain a little bit more of that later. At this point, like I said, I want you to know slope is m and b is your y-intercept and where to locate them in your equation. So again, m is our slope, that's our rise over run, which we learned in a previous lesson. B is our y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis. So let's look at our examples, and I want you to be able to pull out the slope, the m, and pull out the b, which is your y-intercept. So my first example, I want you to write down your equation so that it's easy for you to see what's what. This is our new formula for today, our slope-intercept form. So I want you to be able to identify slope, or m. Who can tell me what m is? What's the slope? It's 2. Look right here. It's the coefficient for x. So m in this case is 2. How about b, or my y-intercept? What's that going to be?
4.
Good, it's right here. Here's my b. It says plus b plus 4. So b is 4. So eventually we're going to use this information to graph. For right now, I want you to be able to look at this purple equation and say, I know the slope is 2, and I know my y-intercept is 4. Let's look at the next one. I'm going to rewrite my formula so it's easy to identify everything. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to identify slope, and we're going to identify the y-intercept. What's the slope for this teal equation? Good, be careful, there is a negative there. So it's -1/2 is the slope. That tells you how steep that line is. What's my b, or what is my y-intercept? Good job. I want to mention real quickly that your slope is just the m. It is not correct to say that the slope is -1/2 x. Just knowing what I've taught you guys about slope, it should make sense that that x does not belong there. It's just the number before that x. So if you accidentally put that in there, that's not correct. Make sure you fix it. The next one's a little bit tricky. Again, I'm going to keep writing my formula so that it not only sticks in my head, but it keeps me from making mistakes. So let's identify, what is my slope? Good job. This one's a little tricky. There's no number there. We're looking for m, and there's no number there. We've talked about this quite a bit this year. When there's no number in front of that variable, there's a 1 there. So our slope is -1. Be careful with that. How about my y-intercept? What's my b? What's my b?
-4.
Good job, -4. That negative has to be there, guys. Look at how our formula is written. It says plus b. Well, if this says -4, just like anything else, whatever sign is in front of it goes with it. So my y-intercept is -4. Again, it crosses the y-axis at -4 and it has a -1 slope. We okay with this one? This one's a little bit tricky. The next one. So what's my slope for this black equation? What's my slope? 2/5. Good job. So quick review. If I was graphing this, give me directions using 2/5. What does that mean?
Up to right 5.
Good job. That's what I wanted to hear you say. Up to right 5. So if I was graphing this, up to right 5, make a dot. Up to right 5, make a dot. What's my slope of this equation? I'm sorry, my y-intercept of this equation.
1.
Good job. +1. Look at the orange one. So I'm showing you guys how to do this so that you don't make a mistake. It's a fairly easy concept, but writing that formula is going to keep you from making mistakes and picking the wrong number or forgetting something. So what's my slope on my orange equation? What's my slope? Good job. Negative has to go with it. Look, we're pulling out the m. This is the m. Our slope is -3. How about my y-intercept?
-4.
Good job. -4. So my b is my y-intercept. I'm pulling that out. My b is -4. Questions so far? You have a question?
I do on the second one.
On the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So here's my formula. This one's a little tricky, but we're still gonna do the same thing. What's my slope of that pink equation? What's my slope? Good, +3. Now be careful. What's my b or my y-intercept for this one? Making your brains work.
1.
No. If it was 1, I'm glad you said that. If it was 1, it would look like this, and that would be a different equation, but that 1 is not there. So think about if there's nothing there, what do you think the y-intercept is?
0.
You're right. They're not going to write a +0 there. It's kind of pointless. So if there's nothing there, that means that our y-intercept is 0. You may not have seen that a minute ago, but that should make sense. You're never going to see a +0. It's kind of pointless of writing it. But because it's not there, that means that our b is 0. Okay? Any questions?